What's going on, everybody? Today I am going to talk to you about the PSA Dagger. As you can tell, my dagger is heavily modified, I guess you can say. I do have a aftermarket trigger. I have a Streamlight TLR 7A. I have a Holosun red dot, and also I have the Radian ramjet and afterburner setup. So all that is a barrel with a port and also a compensator encompassing of that. Radian states that it reduces weapon recoil at about 44%, and I can attest to this. Taking it to the range and shooting it, it definitely does that. But while we are here is the dagger itself. Now, Palmetto State Armory is stationed out of West Columbia, South Carolina, and they are a weapons manufacturer that makes weapons, I'm not going to say for budget friendly, but they make them for a good price. And I say that because this gun right here is a clone of a Glock 19 Gen 3. Well, for a lot of people who love, swear by Glocks, will say, hey, Glocks are the best guns on earth. And I cannot disagree. Being in the military, I shot Glocks a lot. A lot of the team guys have Glocks as their own personal weapons. They swear by them. They say, hey, if I'm going to go into a firefight, I want a Glock on my side. Glocks, bare bones, no thrills, no extra stuff. You're going to spend about $500 to $600. Is it a good price? Yeah. All depends on what you consider good and what you're getting for it. I'm always going to say, well, I'll say this. I have a saying, you get what you pay for. So if you are going to buy cheap, you're going to probably get some cheap things. Except for this. And I say that because this gun right here, which is a Glock, like I said, is a Glock 19 Gen 3 clone. And why is it a clone is because Glock let their patent on their weapon lapse. So a bunch of manufacturers started making clones of their own, like PSA, Shadow Systems. It's a bunch of other companies out there that are slipping my mind, but just know that they're out there. And I say that and to say this. This gun, bare bones, cost me, if I'm not mistaken, about $300. Now I say, it cost me $300, and a Glock costs between $500 to $600. Well, what are you getting when you buy a Glock? You're getting the gun, maybe a magazine or two, and a hard shell case. That's it. Well, with this gun right here, when I bought it, I got the gun, I got 10 P mags. 10 P mags are roughly 15 to 20 bucks ish. All depends on where you go. I got 10 of them for free. This gun right here is probably one of the best guns that I have in my arsenal. And it's fun to shoot, especially with this Radiant Ramjet and Afterburner, it shoots like a dream. But I say all of that and to say this: why spend a crap ton of money when you can buy essentially locally for a better amount of money? And it takes down, just like a Glock 19 Gen 3, everything that is made for a Glock 19 Gen 3 is made for this. The takedown levers, the bolt, the slide release, trigger, everything works exactly the same. Everything. Spring, barrel, everything is exactly the same. Of course, I'm not going to sit here and take this all apart, but just know every barrel that you buy for a Glock 19 Gen 3, you can buy for this gun. And it works. It fits. It matches up. So why spend $200-300 more when you can buy a PSA? I will throw their link up somewhere in either the description or one of the top links. I shop at PSA because PSA, not going to say is a military company, but it was founded by a veteran. And of course, me being a veteran, I'm going to try my hardest to support veterans. A lot of people nowadays are going to buy things for the name. And when I say that, they're going to say, oh, a Glock is a Glock because of whatever. You are buying a Glock because of the word Glock. You're not buying a Glock for its mechanics, its craftsmanship, or anything of that nature. This gun right here, 1-to-1, is better than a Glock. The stocked trigger that came with this gun was already better than a Glock. The ergonomics, if you don't like the blockiness of the Glock's pistol grip, you don't have to use it. This is more ergonomical than a regular Glock lower pistol lower. I mean, it fits your hand perfectly. It everything works. Everything is perfect about this gun. And when you spend that much money on a Glock, you're not getting anything with it. You're not getting a fluted barrel. You're not getting a threaded barrel. You're not getting a slide that you can put a red dot on it. You're getting none of that for $600. But if you go to PSA, you can get all that and more for $300 to $400. And not only can you get a threaded barrel, not only can you get a slide that either A, has a sight on it already, or that is sight ready. Excuse me, I'm getting something out of my safe. You're not getting any of that for the amount of money. But if you go to like I said, if you go to PSA, you can get all that and more. So right here, I have a regular slide. This is the slide that came on my Dagger at first. Same slide. This one was just better because it came with the RMR footprint. But I said, hey, I want to put a compensator on my gun. Well, bam. I went out and bought a barrel. And the barrel itself was very inexpensive. Put a compensator on there. Boom. I have a gun that shoots flat. Everything is going to be plug and play with this weapon. This is the regular barrel that came with it. Like I said, everything is plug and play. This is equivalent to a Honda Civic. This is equivalent to an iPhone or an Android. You can do what you want with it. If you have a dream, if you have a vision, you can make this gun your own. You can make it stand out. You can do a whole bunch with it. But relative to the price, that is where a lot of people get mixed up. They think that you have to spend a bunch of money for quality. And here in 2025, that's certainly not the case. PSA has stepped their game up, and I love PSA. This weapon right here, which is a 300 Blackout, started out as a PSA weapon. But again, M4s, AR-15s, PSA Daggers, or hell, the PSA Dagger Micro, which is the Glock 43 footprint. Everything is modular. You can spend quality money, your hard-earned money, as we know that this economy is going off the rails. No, I will not talk politics, but we all know that your money now is not going as far as it did 10, 15 years ago. We don't know when we're going to get back, but we're going to get back to it as a nation. But all I can say is, if you want to spend your hard-earned money on a weapon that is reliable, that you don't have to break the bank, you need to go over to PSA-PalmettoStateArmory.com and get you a PSA Dagger. And saying that, that is my little breakdown of the PSA Dagger. If y'all want to see or hear more information about guns, let me know and drop a like, drop a comment. All that is helping me become better at answering your questions about guns, ammo, shooting, or anything of that nature. Because next, I will be talking about suppressors. As you can see, I have the Lazarus 6 by Dead Air and the Sandman X by Dead Air. But I also have an Otter Creek Infinity that I will be talking about very shortly. So I have a saying: back to basics, do the work. It's very hard to go out here and shoot and think that you're going to know everything overnight. You're not. I was in the military and I don't know everything, but I'm learning. Cause Actual, who I will also pin in the comments or in the description. His saying is, run your gun, not your mouth. In order to get better, you have to practice. So, go out and practice, and I'll see you on the next one.